It's December 3rd, 22 still. Um, Michelle was outside my client's on Turquoise Street in Canton, confessing that the only thing's going on, she's out there yelling at him. Some girl's like, is it going on that the only thing's happening is you guys are stealing from here? She's like, yes. No one had help out today because they found out that the only thing that's going on is we're stealing all the money from all of this. And she's like, what? She said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you money if you don't tell anybody. She's like, that's the only thing going on is we're stealing all the money from all this. And that's it. It's not about, and she's out there confessing everything. My car spot from the protected light case. That agent that called me back, the one that bullied me into a false statement of saying I was lying when I wasn't, and then even reconfirmed that I wasn't lying, November 24, 22 at Mercy Medical to the nurse, tape and audio in the emergency room at Mercy Medical Hospital. The agent that bullied her into saying she was lying when she wasn't. Just like the agent that called her back is the one that told on her. Okay? And the officer verified it was a Stark County sheriff that looks like Judge Timothy Ludick. Has the black hair, dark eyes, thick black glasses. You could be his kitty's that close. And he verified it was that agent told him if we call back, Michelle's dad. Dave met him in the store where everybody kept saying it was an agent's kid. And then they switched it over to Judge Pete. Judge Pete's involved. Retired Judge Pete. He was following me around. He's friends with Ludick. But I don't know friends, family, what. But I'll tell you what. That agent where Dave showed up at the store and told everybody he didn't want me, we've been trying to get rid of me. He is an extortioner, murderer. He would arrest him. He sure as heck went and kicked in my door and stalked me. You know, I went and got a massage on my neck and my shoulder where it got tore up from the case. And the doctor suggested it would help. All right. And I'm talking to the lady that's doing it. I said, you know, police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life and they have to speak to everyone for the start. She's like, of course they do. It would be illegal. Even just like the police departments. It'd be illegal. Department of Justice, it's illegal. But yeah. And she's like, how can people fall for this? And I was telling her about how they kicked in my door and they were watching me in the shower scene. And then they rape dogged me. She said, I'm going to pray God's protection on you. And she said, you know, it looks like they're winning now. But she said, they won't always win. You know, I bet I am not the only one they're extorting money out of the informant program. Because do you realize when Dave asked those people how to get rid of, he probably thought, we'll get her in one of those witness protection programs. I'll get over it. And we'll embezzle more money from my family. They have embezzled over $300,000 from the federal government, the agent that called me back. Over $300,000 for his family. Now they sold the login to the protected life custody case for $25 a pop. They probably made millions. And I'm probably not their only victim. See, they don't want me to die right now because I am their, a witness protection program, you get free housing. You get free living expenses. That means car, insurance, everything, cell phone. They also, and food, and and you get money to live on, okay? And then you get free medical and free housing. And they get 24-hour protected custody case from the police department. Do you realize my apartment, they're either probably living in it, their family living in it, where they're paying for the housing, the utilities, and the phones, and the car, and all that. That or they're selling it. My God, they could sell it to terrorists. They could sell it to people in Al-Qaeda to live free here. And let the government pick it up. He's so dirty. That or even illegals. It don't matter who they're selling it to. They got free housing for somebody that they're getting the money or the benefits back from it. And just think if they're selling the health insurance, they could be selling it to people that have extreme medical needs. and then let the government pick it up, and the phones and all this other stuff that's supposed to be meant for me, and then my $5,000 a month, which is $60,000 a year. They have extorted and embezzled over $300,000 at least out of this case without the solid login. That's what's going on. Even Michelle was doing a full confession, screaming it streets over. I know no one would help out. Today they found out the only thing going on is we're stealing money out of all the money out of this, and it's not her, it's us stealing the money. And she's doing a full confession, screaming it streets over. Okay? Nobody ought to, and nobody would help out today. And that's what's going on, is you're just stealing. Yes, I'll give you money if you don't tell on us. Tell on them. Tell on them. Unless people forget, where does the government get the money? How the taxpayers. How the taxpayers. You paid them to steal money out of the case of the money that was meant for me. You paid them out of your hard work, going to work every day. You paid them to steal from you. You're that stupid. They embezzled money from our federal government. See, you can never attach federal assistance where it comes into Witness Protection Program, VA, SSI, or Social Security. Nothing can be touched from the government. Just like the housing, except for this is for Witness Protection Program of people are under a threat of life and that have witnessed against somebody really bad that will kill them. So what they did is they paid for them not only to have a free life, free medical, free blah, 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 just to make sure they stay alive, and then 24-hour police surveillance. And the police are not just supposed to be paid perverts to watch you. They're supposed to come running or send somebody come running. And that's where everybody ought to be on FBI submitted tip. They're just embezzling money from the government. And as organized as they are, I am probably not the only one that they're running the same scam on different people, informant programs and witness protection program. And they're stealing from the taxpayers and from victims. It's just them stealing. And Michelle flat out confessed it, screaming it out on Turquoise Street today. My car stopped. My phone stopped. Everybody heard it. It's not funny. Everybody ought to be on FBI submitted tip. How Karen, get someone down here. They're just embezzling money. Everybody knows they drugged me and told me to say stuff, and they photoshopped a shower scene. It's not funny what they did stalking me. They can't even say that agent for his baby whore of the store of Evan was doing it. And then he can Photoshop scenes and date, rape, drug, and stalk the wife. He goes to jail. It's called entrapment. It's a legal search and seizure. And like the police say, until he took my statement and agreed to protect me, there's nothing else. There's even laws about him bullying me into a false statement, saying I'm lying, under a threat of arrest, and then trying to bully me into staying quiet, or he'll list me crazy and no one can help me. He's still bullying me. It's called badgering. He goes to jail for it. And he goes to jail if he wants to claim when he was in it with that Eric laughing November 1822 in Walmart 62 by the hair salon, screaming it right under a big old camera, and another big old camera in the hair salon. All the tapes before were him and not me, and it was him coming up with it for everybody to turn on, and they all fell for it, and how he was laughing at all these people, ha ha ha, how they all fell for it. He wants to say if he's in it with that jackass. Huh? And for them all to extort money out of the federal government, everybody needs to be on the Department of Justice and FBI submitted tip. Get someone down here. Because like they said on Friday, December 2nd, Alliance at Wendy's, that's the one that church tried to have killed. The guy's like, yes. He said, and that man has been embezzling money out of this case since the beginning, and they all knew about it, and nobody said a word, and that's why nobody said a word to her, because that man's been embezzling all the funds out of this case since the beginning, and that's what's the only thing going on. Like they said, it's that idiot stealing everything for his own family. It's the only thing going on, and exactly what's going on. It's Michelle's family embezzling from the federal government.